Welcome to Jorge and Matthew's video tutorial on solving radical equations. When you approach any radical equation, you must always follow these 4 steps. Step 1 is to isolate the radical. But since we've already done that, we don't need to do anything. But if there was, say, a number in front of the radical, like let's say you added 8, you would have to subtract 8 from this side and subtract from this side, because whatever you do to one side of the equation has to be done to the other side of the equation. But we're not dealing with that. So we can move on to step 2, which is to get rid of the radical. The next step in solving radical equations is to get, in layman's terms, you need to get rid of the radical sign by squaring both sides of the equation. Meaning, you square root of 22 minus 6x and x minus 5. Okay, so now, the reason we square both sides is because when you square anything in a radical sign, your answer will always be the values inside of the radical. For example, the square root of 64 squared is the square root of 64 times the square root of 64 times the square root of 64. That means you just have 8 times 8, which gives you 64. But anyway, back to our problem. Once we've done that, we are left with 22 minus 6x on one side of the equation. And on the other side, we are left with x squared minus 10x. We are left with 22 minus 6x on one side of the equation and x squared minus 10 plus 25 on the other side of the equation. And now Matthew will teach you how to solve the equation fully. Alright, so we got our equation to be 22 minus 6x equals x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now what we're going to do to solve this equation is we're going to get rid of 22 minus 6x on this side. So we're going to do minus 22 plus 6x, and we're going to do that to this side too. You get the equation x squared minus 4x plus 3. Now I'm pretty sure you know what to do here. It's a quadratic equation, so you're going to use the x method to solve it. Plus 3 goes on top, negative 4 goes on the bottom. What are two numbers that when multiplied together give you plus 3, and when added together give you negative 4, negative 1, and negative 3? Good job. Now the next step is you're going to do x minus 1 times x minus 3 and set that equal to 0. And then you're going to solve that and you're going to get your answers. These are x equals 1 and x equals 3. And now final step, you're going to check over your work. So we're going to use the first x equals 1. And you're going to replace every x in the equation with 1. So that would be the square root of 22 minus 6 times 1 equals 1 minus 5. Now if you solve that, you're going to get the square root of 16 equals negative 4. Now, square root of 16 is positive 4. So, positive 4 does not equal negative 4. Therefore, x equals 1 is an extraneous solution. is an extraneous solution. But we still have x equals negative 3 check. So again, we plug this in. The square root of 22 minus 6 times 3 equals 3 minus 5. The square root of 4 equals negative 2. Square root, this is what you get after you simplify. But the square root of 4 is 2. And 2 does not equal negative 2. That means that now both of our solutions are extraneous.